On May 19, 2023, 34-year-old Jeremy Bailey murdered his 36-year-old wife Anastasia Stevens and her visiting parents, 73-year-old Don and 61-year-old Becky Stevens, in his Layton, Utah home. It began with a chilling Facebook post on his wife's account where Jeremy posted, quote, "Massacre suicide, Jeremy Bailey. Just killed everyone, Becky Stevens, Don Stevens, and 3 of the 4 dogs, 1832 East Gentile Street, Layton," end quote. Jeremy then called the Layton Police Department admitting to the triple homicide but remained on the line, which prevented the situation from escalating to a murder-suicide as Bailey had initially claimed. When authorities arrived, they found Jeremy soaked in blood, and as they arrested him, he said, quote, "I can't believe I did it," end quote. On October 26, 2023, Jeremy pleaded guilty to 3 counts of aggravated murder. He told the court that he had shot and killed his wife and in-laws in their home in a fit of rage following an argument with Anastasia. Jeremy expressed a preference for death by firing squad over life in prison, but on December 18, 2023, he was sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. On January 1, 2024, 70-year-old Joseph Glynn murdered his 76-year-old wife Jackie with a hammer in their Nashville, Tennessee home. When his children asked him where their mother was, he told them she had been diagnosed with terminal cancer and left him so he wouldn't have to watch her die. They didn't believe the story and contacted her doctor, who confirmed that she wasn't terminally ill. They contacted the police and told them their mother was missing. During the investigation, police uncovered a freshly covered hole on another property the Glynns owned. Hidden beneath roofing shingles, Jackie's lifeless body was found in a 6-foot deep grave. Joseph had asked a contractor to dig the hole weeks before the murder, claiming it was for a burn pit. This action made it clear to authorities that this was a premeditated murder. Joseph Glynn was charged with criminal homicide, abuse of a corpse, and evidence tampering. The motive for the murder is still unknown. He is currently detained in Davidson County Jail awaiting trial. On August 15, 2023, 30-year-old medical student and poison specialist Connor Bowman allegedly poisoned his 32-year-old wife's drink with liquid colchicine. Betty Bowman was hospitalized the following day with symptoms resembling food poisoning and tragically passed away 4 days later. Betty had told a friend that she thought the smoothie she had the night before she went into the hospital was to blame for her illness. Initial suspicions arose due to Connor's attempts to expedite Betty's cremation and cancel her autopsy and his request to know what substances the doctors would be looking for in the toxicology test. Connor was arrested on October 20, 2023 and charged with second-degree murder. Detectives found online searches for colchicine's lethal dosage and attempts to purchase it 5 days before Betty's hospitalization, which pointed towards premeditation. Furthermore, Connor was going to receive a substantial life insurance payment for Betty's death. Authorities also found out that Connor had been unfaithful to Betty and the couple were talking about getting a divorce. On January 4, 2024, Connor's charges were upgraded to first-degree premeditated murder and second-degree murder with intent. On December 24, 2023, 33-year-old Teresa Cachuela was shot and killed by her estranged husband, 44-year-old Jason Cachuela, in the parking lot of the Pearl Ridge Center in Honolulu, Hawaii. She had suffered a lot of mental abuse from Jason before she finally decided to file for divorce after 10 years of marriage. The couple, who had 3 children together, were living separately at the time, and Teresa had even taken out a restraining order against him just 2 days before she was killed. On that fateful day, she had gone to the mall with her 8-year-old daughter to get some breakfast and do some last-minute Christmas shopping. As the two got out of Teresa's car, Jason appeared and shot Teresa multiple times before fleeing the scene. He had been tracking her movements through the GPS on her phone. When police and medical services arrived, Teresa had already died from her injuries. Jason was found dead in his car the same day from a single gunshot wound to his head in an area behind a Waipahu residence, a town located about 5 miles away from the mall. On April 10, 2017, 53-year-old Cedric Anderson fatally shot his estranged wife, 53-year-old teacher Karen Elaine Smith, before taking his own life at North Park Elementary School in San Bernardino, California. Cedric and Karen had gotten married just a few months before the murder when Karen noticed a change in his personality. A change that prompted her to leave him and file for divorce just 1 month after their vows. On that fateful day, following all the proper protocols, Cedric entered the main office area of the school and told the staff that he had to drop something off to his wife. The staff recognized him and allowed him to enter the building, giving him full access to the special needs classroom Karen taught in. When he entered the room, he pulled out a handgun and fired several shots at Karen before taking his own life in front of the children. 2 children standing behind Karen were also struck by gunfire, resulting in the death of an 8-year-old boy named Jonathan Martinez and leaving another 9-year-old boy wounded but able to recover. Cedric had a history of arrests that included domestic violence, theft, and weapons charges. However, he was never convicted on any of these charges.